With the Platespin Forge product design, our focus was to create an intuitive user experience. Let's go ahead and load up the Forge console. As you can see, the UI itself is a web-based thin client. All the user-initiated actions in Forge are as simple as navigating a website. Everything from configuration to testing to failovers are simply a matter of a few clicks. Once the Forge unit is configured and up and running, the first screen you'll see is this main dashboard. As you can see, the dashboard is divided into a few information panes. On the left-hand side, we have a graphical representation of the status of the protected workloads, along with some graphics showing the license and the disk usage. On the right-hand side is where Forge will track all past, present, and upcoming events. The first thing that users will probably want to do is add a workload to be protected. Doing this is very simple and intuitive. We just click on Add Workload here. Add Workload has taken us to a simple web form where the user must now provide the hostname or IP address of the workload to be added and appropriate admin level credentials. If Forge is able to communicate to a server through hostname or IP, Forge should be able to protect it. Again, very simple. Once the workloads have been added, they will appear in the Workloads tab. This tab really is the control center of Forge. As you can see in this tab, Forge gives a full inventory of all the servers being protected and any servers that have been discovered. If I check ny file serve, you'll see that Forge will intelligently highlight all the actions I have available for this specific server. This server has been discovered but has not yet been configured for protection. So let's go ahead and click on Configure Protection. Again, configuring a protection job is as simple as filling out a web form. The first group of settings are the protection tier settings. This is where a user can configure the intervals at which Forge will both monitor and replicate the servers being protected. This can be done with either default or user-defined templates, or simply custom configured for each protection job. The next group of settings are the replication settings. This is where a user can define the replication method, file level, VSS, or block level, as well as the specific volumes the user wants Forge to protect. One interesting feature of Forge is that users have the option to leverage Forge for whole workload protection, but can also choose to use Forge in conjunction with other protection products to create a best-of-breed solution. The next group of settings are the failover settings. The two main attributes users will need to configure here are the resources that the recovery VMs will use at failover time, as well as the network configuration that these VMs will have to take on, so that users will be able to access them. Finally, the last group of settings is for test recovery. Forge has a very quick and easy testing capability, whereby Forge will create snapshots of the recovery VMs and boot them to a safe network environment for users to test as often as they choose. This is where users will define that test network configuration. Once all your servers are configured again, we can return to the Workloads tab. As you can see, in my demo environment, I do have a server that has gone into failure. If I go ahead and click on this server, you can see that again, Forge will intelligently highlight all the actions I have available. In the case of this failed server, the two important ones are failover and prepare for failover. In the case of a failure detection, if a user were to click on failover, Forge would simply go ahead and boot the recovery VM in place and recover the appropriate network settings so that users would have access to its applications. Prepare for failover is a staged version of this two-step process, allowing users a greater level of control of the failover process for any potential troubleshooting that could be done before a failover is initialized. Finally, as you can see, if I check this LA file server that is running normally, you can see that a new action becomes available, which is test failover. Again, with Forge, we've taken what previously was a very painful process, DR testing, and we've simplified down to the click of a button. Finally, let's take a look at some of the reporting capability of Forge. With Forge, users also have access to some pre-built DR-specific reporting. Let's look at a simple report called Current Protection Status. As you can see, this report gives users a great one-page view to all of the current performance of their Forge protection contracts and lists the RPO, RTO, and TTO performance logged. From a performance standpoint, you can see in this report that with Forge, users are able to be up and running again in as little as 15 minutes.
In addition to the products you've just heard about, Novell and our partners offer a comprehensive set of consulting, training, and support services to help you get the most from your IT investment. So make sure to leverage our extended services team to reap all the benefits of your service-driven data center, faster and smarter. And also check out our website for many case studies of companies using PlateSpin to manage a service-driven data center. I hope you found this presentation helpful and informative. To find out more information about PlateSpin workload management solutions, fill out the form and a Novell representative will be happy to answer all your questions. Thank you.